Weblings. On today's episode of Fandom Friday, I am going to be giving you a tour of my collection. I have been officially collecting since 2007/2008. I will talk about all of that in this video. I cannot wait to show you my 2025 collection tour. Let's get into it.
And we're starting off strong here with the bulk of my collection displayed in these beautiful IKEA glass display cases. Originally, I had my collection in like a bookshelf and then those cube shelves from Target, and I just never really was satisfied with the way it looked. So I saved up and went for this beautiful display. And now I'm going to take you through shelf by shelf to show you what we got. Let's go. Starting at the right side of the shelves at the top, here is a under construction zone. It's going to be something eventually, but right now it's just kind of a random catch-all and my 2013 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive DJ Pony. I did not attend that con, but I had to have this figure because she's so cool. Here is my little pony shelf. I mostly collected the Gen 4. That's kind of when I broke into My Little Pony, and I quite enjoyed the show for a little while. I actually would like to go back and rewatch it and finish it because I don't think I ever finished all the seasons. But yeah, I collected mostly the Gen 4 and lots of Fluttershy because she was my favorite pony. And in the back corner there is two G3s. They were art ponies. I absolutely loved the way they looked, so I had to have them along with the rest of these guys. Here is a Lockdown and Nemesis Prime display. These two toys are some of my favorite toys in my collection, so I wanted them to kind of have their own little space. And I put in some little versions of them for added cuteness factor because you gotta have the cuteness factor. I love this dog figure so much, but I don't like the Lockdown he came with, so I'll probably end up selling that and keeping the dog. Here is my Decepticon Justice Division shelf with an added bonus of Deathsaurus because I ship him with Tarn, so of course he's going to live with Tarn. All of these toys are from Mastermind Creations except Tarn and Deathsaurus. Tarn is Flame Toys, which is an officially licensed by Hasbro. And Deathsaurus is from the third-party line Planet X. Very cool figures. I love them. Originally, I did have the third-party Mastermind Creations of Tarn, but I ended up selling him to my best friend because I liked the look of this one so much better. There is a cute story behind this shelf. In the early days of my fandom adventures, I had a toy photo comic that I posted over on the TF World 2005 boards. This Bionicle, Krika, and this Shinky, Partio, were the best of friends. So even after the comic era had kind of subsided, I missed making those. But anyway, I had to keep them together because why not? So she lives here with all her friends and him, and Alternator's Ravage there is like an uncle to her, or was in the story. So he gets to live there with her and her friends and Krika. And down over here is the other Bionicle, Gilu, who was intended to be Krika's best friend in the comic, but I don't think I ever made it that far. So he's with Drossel and their kids. This is predominantly a Shinky shelf with the added bonus of some Littlest Pets. I always loved sticking the Littlest Pets with the Shinkies. I thought that was such a cute combination. And I have a bunch of miniature furniture because I'm a sucker for dollhouse type settings or Toy Story settings. So I love to display my toys as though they are living in their own tiny little world. And this is the very bottom shelf of the right side. And it has some Transformers, some Shinkies, more miniature furniture. I believe this furniture set was from IKEA. So they're all just chilling down here, plotting world domination, hanging out. You know how it goes. And we're moving over to the bookshelf type area of the shelves, which is the only part that doesn't have a glass display. On this first shelf, we have a Bingo Toys Wave Man with his army of Tokidoki unicorns. Here is a Pushinosaurus and 2 Dragon Sheens. Fun fact, I am obsessed with Dragon Sheen. Anything with Dragon Sheen on it, I will immediately buy. I am so obsessed. Here is a Megastar display. I have the cover with them on it for Devastation and a beautiful art book and merch bundle by the artist Snowy. It had to have its own little display. Sorry for the glare from my lamp. And here is another Megastar display, this time in the flavor of Transformers Prime. I definitely want to add more stuff to this shelf because it's looking kind of bare. These are my Onslaughts. I adore this toy. That's why I had to have both versions and the little guy from Iron Factory. He is a third party. The other two are official Hasbro. And now we're jumping into the left side of the shelves. This is Ultra Magnus and Black Convoy with their Shinky friends, some Venoms, and Little Fallen. The cutest Fallen you will ever see, ever. And some more art books, and the Weekend Starboy Marvel comic. Because fun fact, I love The Weeknd. Here is a Soundwave, but mostly Shockwave display with their 2 Shinky friends. As you can tell, Shockwave is definitely one of my faves. Oh, and some cute littlest pets, because you know me, I gotta shove the littlest pets with the Shinkies. And they look pretty cute with the Transformers too, not gonna lie. And now for the rest of my Lockdown and Nemesis Prime figures. You might be thinking, this is an addiction. It totally is. I can quit whenever I want. I just don't want to. But yeah, I like Nemesis Prime so much. Every time they come out with an Optimus Prime figure, my first question, does it come in Nemesis? In this shelf, we have some of my Bayformer figures and some more Shinkies and Littlest Pets and a Donut Bot because cute. Tragic fact about this Bone Crusher figure. If you've ever heard me say that I hate transforming my Transformers, he is one of the biggest reasons why. When I bought this figure and transformed it, I broke it. I was so pissed. And here he sits because I haven't been able to fix him or replace him. It's very tragic. He's so cool looking otherwise, and he's a great size to the rest of the figures, and it's just so frustrating. Here is another Bayformers display with non-broken bone crushers, as you can see. And there's Tomahawk over there, the lone Autobot with a bunch of Decepticons. And here we have another Shinky display with some Figmas, and Black Arachnia slipped her way in there. That is Masterpiece Black Arachnia. And of course, gotta have the littlest pets. This is kind of another one of those story shelves from my photocomic era. All of these toys were or were intended to be bad toys in the comics. And so, to this day, they have kind of stayed in their own little realm. This is my fun display board that keeps my keychains, stickers, smaller art prints, and all my pins that I have collected throughout the years. There are so many cute little things on this board. I'm actually to the point now where I'm going to need a second one because I still have stickers, keychains, and other littler things that need to be displayed, so there will definitely be a new one when I do next year's edition of this tour. These are my desk dwellers, as I like to call them. This display is right above my computer, and I have some little Grogu figures, some plushies. There's a buffalo and opossum because buffaloes and opossums are some of my favorite animals. And more plushies. And these cute little chibi Bayverse Transformers with my 3 favorite couplings because yes. I'm so sorry in advance about the glare from my lamps again, but this is my jazz corner, as I like to call it. Has all of my original art pieces and prints from various artists. These letters, I'm going to do something with them eventually, but right now they're just plain. And no, they're not supposed to be perfectly aligned or anything like that. Another Autobot that I really like is Rung. Now, hot take, I did not like where his character ended up leading to. If you've read More Than Meets the Eye comics, you know what I'm talking about. But I will just pretend that that never happened and love Rung the way he was at the beginning. And I slipped a little Jazz and Ravage figure in there to just kind of fill that space. And here we have this adorable little plushie trio, Barricade and his 2 Jazzes, and his little pink donut because he is a spoiled little plushie mechling. Here is the plush version of the Decepticon Justice Division, minus Voss, because I never got a little plushling of Voss, which is so sad, but that's okay. And of course, Deathsaurus snuck into this one too. Here is Jumbo Jazz, aka the largest plushie that I own, with his 2 cutie little kitty former and panda, Jazzkins and Sute. Here's another fun plushie shelf with added bonus of the 2 shadows. And a quick little story about the Optimus Prime looking fellow in this, the two versions, the bigger one and the small version. Before Rise of the Beast Scourge existed, I had this kind of like an OC, but roughly based on the Robots in Disguise Scourge, of a character that was supposed to be Lockdown's mate and Optimus Prime's brother, or sometimes sister. I would gender swap them sometimes. But it was just this cute little OC-like situation, and I loved them so much that I had plushies made of them too. The big one there, and the little one that was in the frame to the left, which I call Princess. And these little guys, I don't know, I think I got them at Target. They're princesses. Here is a very scientific display. The little plushling in the chair on the left is called Finney, and this is his domain. These are all his friends and his little laboratory setup. These are some more prints and original artworks that I had commissioned over the years by the amazing artists. I apologize for the umpteenth time about the glare from my lamps. And we're moving on to my dark living room and starting off with my jazz figures. And moving down a shelf, I have 3-0 Blitzwing and Bumblebee, the deluxe versions. And moving down one more, we have my Transformers Prime figures. At the time of filming this, I did not know that my poor Soundwave was knocked over because it's so dark in there. He is not knocked over anymore, rest assured. On this next shelf, I have the Elite Seeker Treen. And right below them is what is left of my animated figures. I sold the majority of my animated line. I kind of regret it, but at the time I was like going in this minimalist direction, and I don't know, my brain was just all over the place, but these guys remain because they're my faves. And here is my premium edition 3-0 Megatron and Starscream. The Megatron is the Last Night version because that design was so beautiful. And we're ending with my gorgeous Hot Toys Venom.
Thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Fandom Friday. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the nest, become a webling. I will love you forever.